When it comes to chronic illness, there are a lot of struggles to keep a child healthy. I'm your neighborhood reporter, Veronica Morley. Now, when it comes to these struggles, a big factor can involve environment. In fact, the Musser family had to relocate and then renovate their new home for their son, and more than a year later, they're still in the thick of it.
It's walking this constant tightrope of what's going to be the next trigger.
Todd and Katie Musser's lives were turned upside down when their 13-year-old son Thaddeus was diagnosed with Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, further complicated by mast cell activation syndrome.
It's actually a very difficult story to share. It's not an enjoyable journey.
EDS impacts skin, joints, and blood vessels, but MCAS is a rare complication that can exacerbate the disease and can be triggered by a number of everyday things, including mold.
Thaddeus is a little bit like the canary in the mine shaft. He's the one that's sensitive, and as soon as something's there, he's going to react to it.
The Mussers hope to reduce his potential for exposure by buying a fairly newer home, one that passed initial inspections and seemed clear.
What's really interesting about, the Musser family is their attic was extremely toxic. There was all kinds of toxic molds growing up there.
Michael Rubino is an air quality expert and founder of Home Cleanse, working with over 200 doctors nationwide to address environmental causes to chronic illness.
It's a growing problem. One of the reasons I believe this is happening is because we're building homes tighter and tighter in North America, and we're not thinking about the occupants living inside. Quite frequently, when you build all these houses this way, is the lumber sits in the soil.
Rubino said anyone could be impacted by these toxins.
It's not just exacerbating symptoms or maybe causing some symptoms. It's also prolonging illness.
The Musser said between medical costs and buying a new home, they're drained and in debt.
If I'm estimating, I would say we're probably somewhere around $300,000.
But there's a light at the end of the tunnel. With the home cleared of mold, Thaddeus should be able to acclimate over the year, but it's still a bumpy road ahead.
So like the remediation, we feel like it really has worked. It has turned a corner. And now we have to be really, really careful to not bring any of that old stuff in.
And Todd and Katie say they hope that their story can help inspire others to be aware the impacts environment can play in your overall health. I'm your neighborhood reporter, Veronica Morley.